Hey everyone, and welcome to another Mendogs video. Today we're going to be talking about the 2020 preview Doom Rising. So this is the road ahead for the next 6 months, finish in 2020. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you're not missing a thing. Smash that like button and we'll get onto it. Alright, 2020 preview Doom Rising. Greetings everyone. Earlier in the year, the Marvel Strike Force team published an announcement of the features, content and improvements being worked on in early 2020. With many of the previous mentioned updates now in the game, or coming soon, we'd like to give you a preview of what we're working on for the second half of 2020. Please keep in mind that when it comes to previews like this, specifics including dates can often change before release. I have to tip my hat. Foxnet, or Scooply as they're now known, have been really good on the communications. Usually about, averaging between 7 to 10 posts a month, so that's really good for the communication. Also, I looked through the previous published announcement that they're talking about there, and they actually did tick off pretty much 90% of all the things. One of the things that was delayed was ISO 8, and the reason for that was because there was a lot of issues in play testing. People weren't huge fans of it. So it's really good that they've taken a longer time to develop these features. So, new features coming to the game. ISO 8. We're currently running an ISO 8 playtest with the community back in October 19. We've received a lot of feedback that the team took seriously, so much that we significantly overhauled the system. We've recently wrapped up a second closed beta test of ISO 8 with approximately 100 players who once again provided us valuable feedback to make the feature even better. This is a new progression system that will allow you to further upgrade your character stats and actually customize them by choosing classes. We previously published a preview of the current iteration of the feature with additional details. Bundled with the feature will be a new ISO 8 campaign with Zone Energy, which will reward additional gear and gold. So they're talking there about the 5 classes. The 5 classes have different abilities. So there's like a healer class, which provides a regen. There's a protector class where they get their own shield. There's a striker, which is able to double tap. Very cool. Definitely, if you haven't looked at that already, definitely have a shoot at that. One of the features that I do like about ISO 8 is that they've eliminated the random factor, and it's essentially like gearing. I've come from my Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, as you know, and this system is very similar to our mod system. The problem with the mods, though, is speed is king, obviously in a turn-based game. And if you don't have speed on the mod, it's trash. It doesn't matter how good the stats are. There's about 3 or 4 players who don't really require speed, but the rest of them require speed. And you throw them out, and you could be one of the best players in the world, but RNG in that game can kill you. So it's really good that they've taken a lot of feedback, and they're really updating it. And it looks super interesting. It will probably make Dark Dimensions 1, 2 relatively easier, including the raids, which is probably why they've started adding the difficulty. Real-time PvP competitive mode. Can I just say this is my favorite game mode? I bloody love it. I love it how they've got two different modes. So they've got the roster one, where it's just based on whatever you've geared up against your opponent, and you got balanced. And I'm really loving balanced because it enables me, because I Twitch stream, that I can battle people who've got bigger rosters than me, and it sort of makes it a bit more compelling. Sometimes we do ridiculous choices as well, so we'll do a power arm team versus defenders or something, just for a bit of fun. But I really enjoy it. Another thing that I really enjoy about the game mode is the draft system. Games can be won or lost during the draft, and really exciting to see where they go with, as we'll read, they're adding rewards to us, which is one of the things that people have been asking about. By now, many of you likely participate in the Versus Battle feature, where you draft a team and battle a friend alliance member in real-time PvP. The dev team have reviewed the results and feedback about this feature, and many players have stated that they would like a competitive version in real-time PvP. So, when they originally released this, they said, look, we've heard that you want live PvP. Here it is. They added a bit of extra flavor, which was draft, which from my community and stuff like that, I've found that people really enjoy the draft system. Spices up a little bit, though you will find that there are obviously kings of PvP, and usually those characters are chosen. I know with my own account, which is less than 1 million, the two that I usually ban is Black Bolt and Ultron. They're the required bans, just because I can't really deal with them at this point. But I am sort of focusing on getting them up there. So look, I love it. We've been running a lot of the Twitch community have been running a lot of PvP competitions. So essentially, what we do is everyone signs up. Your individual battle, record the thing, and then we sort of complete that into a video. I've got a PvP competitive version coming up in the next week or so. So if you feel free to sign up, join my Discord channel, which is in the description below, and then we can have some good fun in that. So they're talking about matchmaking here. So the real time thing where you're able to add matchmaking. Matchmaking is interesting. The reason I say that is because, like, for example, with Star Wars, we have GAC, which is Grand Championships. And I'm versing a guy, so I've got a big count of that, that's about 6.8. And I'm versing guys who've got every single legendary and every single, character known under the sun. And that's who I'm competitively versing against. So I'll be interested to see how this matchmaking system works. I'll be interested to see if they do balanced or the normal roster one. So stay tuned for that. But or if they'll put it in different sizes. So, people with a 1 million account, they all verse each other and stuff like that. So I'll be really interested to see how this goes. But I'm super excited about it because it's one of my favorite game modes in this game. Before the full features release later this year, the team is trying to add a matchmaking button for the current verse mode. We love real-time battles and understand it's hard to find opponents whenever you're in the mood for a battle. This will help bridge the gap while we work on a complete version of the feature. And I think that's really good too. Roll out a couple of new things, see how they go, and then bring the final one. They did that with GAC. So it was championships, and then it became grand championships later. So that's never a bad thing. Add more features to a game mode before you actually release the full thing. They also talk about being respectful for players' time. So, example, we know the draft and verse battles, while a lot of fun, can also take longer than the actual battle. Therefore, we're looking at ways to either streamline the drafting process for this mode or be absent altogether. In tandem, we are focused on not increasing your game time overall by continuing to modify and look at the time players spend in other areas of the game like blitz. And blitz is a real time sink, especially if you want to get those big scores. And they talk a bit about blitz down at the bottom, but one of the things they're going to have to fix on the versus battle is currently there's an issue where, and I'm going to use Storm, what's his name? Johnny Storm, so the Human Torch, as an example. Depending on where you are, because he flips negative buffs, and say if a character on the other side has applied a negative buff, which one goes first? And so they're going to need to fix that because it depends on which side you are on the map. So there's a couple of things that they have to work out there, but overall, super excited. And most of this stuff that's coming out in this post, I'm really excited about. New missions, Dark Dimensions 4. So welcome Dark Dimensions 4. As we all thought, Dr. Van Doom, which is, a character that a lot of people have been wanting in this game, will be the prize for getting that. Also, people in the community have reached out and said, "Oh, do you reckon that Ultron Red Stars are coming with this?" And maybe that's the secondary add to it, or maybe you get Doom's Red Star. So it'd be interesting to see how that pans out. Requirements for characters to participate in the forthcoming Gear 15. And it's probably the only down point I actually saw of this whole forum is another gear crunch. We know that most players are still working on getting to DD4, and to assist in accelerating your process, we're making Gear 14 more accessible, including adding superior gear pieces to a new story campaign. So they're going to help out with Gear Crunch. I've just started DD1. I'm on the first node. I have a terrible lineup. I have Mantis, Groot, Rhino, Wolverine, and Drax as my 5 for DD1. They're not doing too bad, but it's going to take me a while to get through DD1. DD2, I feel at this point, I'll use a BKT team, will probably be easier, but it's really good that they're sort of going to help with that gear crunch. And the fortunate thing that I have as a new player is that people will be using certain characters, see what the best one is for gear 15, and then see where I should put my resources. So I'm really excited. I was talking about this on stream the other day where, when do we think DD4 is? I thought, by the end of the year, and here he is. So, yeah, looking forward to Dark Dimensions 4 when I can get up to that. New story campaign. So they're adding a new story campaign with the next chapter focusing on Doctor Doom. So that's pretty exciting. And then this is where they're going to include those superior gear pieces, or the mini uniques, as we call it in the community, help progress to Gear 14. They're adding more challenge tiers, which is awesome for increasing the rewards. I haven't maxed out all the tiers at the moment, obviously, but it's really good. So in Star Wars, we've been asking for this for a while, and if I put my shoes in the the top guys who are level 75 and able to compete in DD3, this is really good and something that as a newer player I can look forward to working towards. Difficulty selector. One of the good things that they added was the difficulty selector. Kind of the easy way out, not creating a whole new raid, but as a new guild, I think we're like level 35 or something. New alliance, sorry. It's really good that we might not be, we're not at U7 right now, but we've been able to get to U6 tier 2, so the second difficulty. So it's a nice way to sort of progressively build up towards that next full tier, which is obviously U7 for us, or in this case, they're adding it to the Greek raids. We're up to Gamma 2. We're not quite at 3, but it's good to see that once we hit 3, we'll be able to do the same progress through that and get those slightly better rewards. Improvements. Now, I was just talking to Perks. This audio thing happens every single time they do a patch. So I'll get into a game, it'll just play the sound effects, and I'll have to go into the settings, shut it down, go back in, play the battle, and then the next time I'm battling, the sound effects back up, and then after a couple of times this actually sticks. So it's really good that they're looking into that. I have an iOS or iPhone, so I've heard that it's mostly affecting that, but it's good to see that they're going to address that. Blitz adjustments. Well, Blitz is a great mode to flex the might of your entire roster. There are several parts of it that we would like to improve. First, we're updating and flattening the reward structure for Blitz. Great. Rank rewards will be have less variance in how many shard players in the top bracket will earn. Players in the top percentile brackets will earn more shards than they currently do. Second, to give players more flexibility in their day, we're limited the number of free refreshes each character can get in a 24-hour period. So I'm hoping that they increase the rewards enough to sort of balance out. You're not doing as many attacks, which would be fantastic. Blitz can be a big time sink. What I do enjoy, though, coming from Swagger, is being able to use my entire roster. And when I unlock a character, I can chuck them straight into Blitz and start using it. So recently, I just finished off my my Blitz team, my AIM team. So I've got the 5 there. I think gear 6 or something. So not super high, but I'm able to use them, which is super exciting for me. Thirdly, we're visiting our point calculations to significantly increase the value of win matches and somewhat reduce the points earned for taking on extremely powerful opponents. So what I'm hoping with that is for us with smaller rosters able to at least get those wins, it'll help us get a higher score than just auto in the 7.5 or 8.5 that they're currently up, the percentage. And it says here they're looking to reduce the ways that the overall time spent in blitz. Now, I personally like it. A lot of guys, and I've just come to the game, so obviously I like it. A lot of older players don't enjoy the entire time sink of it. Currently, what I do is, unless it's a special event, I'll finish all my milestones and then call it a day. Squad management. Oh my goodness, yes. We're about to bring out a video, top 10 things that we wanted to do the game. We didn't obviously include Dark Dimensions 4 because we knew that was sort of coming, but squad management is one of the things that I cannot wait to come. We understand that creating teams and squad select screen can be cumbersome when searching for characters with specific tags. As needed, quality of life improvement will be implemented, the ability to sort characters. And that is just absolutely amazing. So I'll take you over to the this is the current squad thing. I don't like it how we have to go through blitz, but you know, as an improvement, and they've identified it's really good. So you'll see the BKT team up there. That's my raid team. That's my arena team. For me to swap, say if I wanted to move Minerva to where Thanos is and Thanos where Rocket is and Rocket to Star-Lord, whatever, I have to select the team, I have to unselect the character, put them in the right order. It'd be awesome if you just move them because placement is incredibly key on certain teams just due to like energy regeneration and stuff like that. So it's really good that they're looking to address this, and hopefully that one of those features comes in. And then we've got the Wolverine as the daily log on. At this point, there are lots of players with Wolverine at 7 stars. We're updating the all clear objective to identify players that have Wolverine at 7 stars, and if they do, they instead will award a different type of resource. What I'm hoping there is that it's a good resource. I'm still about 30 days away from getting my 7-star Wolverine, but I do know some people use that as ultimate shards for ultimate shards. So it'd be interesting to see what the rewards are and if they actually marry up to something better than Ultimus. So for some people who've already got 7-star Ultimus, they're probably really looking forward to this. But guys who are still chasing that Ultimus 7-star, could be a bit of debate. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. Write in the comment down below. Smash that like. And as always, have a good one. See you guys. Bye.